What's up guys? Today we have the Aura Series 16mm pickleball paddle from Srikel. Big shout out to them. They sent me this paddle to go ahead and give a test run. So I'm gonna go ahead and play with it, give you guys what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and a full breakdown of this paddle. So straight out of the box, you can tell this is an elongated shaped paddle. It's got the super long handle, so you get those good two-hand backhands, and I love the color scheme of this paddle. It's super minimalistic. It's got the nice light gray edge guard, which I actually haven't seen very many paddles have, and that nice 3K carbon fiber face. So I'm about to leave right now, head over to my buddy's house where he has an indoor court where we can go test out this paddle. So after playing with this paddle, I have so much to say about it, so let's go ahead and break it down for you guys. So the first thing I wanted to do is compare this to the Flamingo. Obviously, the shape of the paddle face is nearly identical, but when it comes to power, I would say this is a less aggressive version of the Flamingo. The one thing that I noticed right off the bat, I'm a player who likes dwell time. The dwell time on the Srikel is very fast. So if you're playing with like a Pro 4, any of the new Yolas, this plays similar when it comes to the actual pop that's coming off the paddle. For me, I like a little bit of a softer face, so the Flamingo actually cushions the ball a little bit more, so I can actually feel the ball when I'm making contact with it. The only downside of long dwell time, the Flamingo, is you're gonna have less speed in your hands battle, so it's less instantaneous, so I really do have to swing through the ball. As where the Srikel, I can kind of just hold my paddle there and give like short little punches, and the fast dwell time is actually going to make my hands battles much quicker, and I'm probably going to win a few more hands battles when it comes down to it. But one thing that I noticed right away that was vastly different is the actual handle shapes. They have the same butt end cap, but the Srikel is a little bit more oval, and the actual ridges of where you can feel like where the paddle is in your hand are very rounded. And I would say if you're someone coming from tennis, this paddle is like, the paddle handle is similar to a tennis racket handle. They're more round, and this one especially has such an oval shape. It literally feels like I'm holding a tennis racket in my hand. So when it comes down to grit, these are both equally as gritty in their own way. I think the actual shape of the grit is different because when I'm running my fingers across the Proton and then when I'm running my fingers across the Srikel, they're both very gritty, but they feel different. I would actually argue that I get more topspin with the Srikel as for the Proton. Doesn't mean they're not as gritty. I think they're the same when it comes to grit levels, but I noticed on my serves, I could actually like see the ball path when I'm serving. It was much more aggressive, I would say. So I was getting more topspin with the Srikel, but that also might be a factor of the low dwell time. So one last compliment for this paddle is I recently started playing with the elongated shape. I got the Flamingo fairly recently. And one thing I've noticed about this is it actually helps my forehand when it comes to hooking the ball. So getting my forehand dinks, this paddle is super, super easy to hit forehands with, as well as two-hand backhands. I really don't notice the limitations when it comes to this paddle. As for a lot of other paddles, there is always a downside when it comes to hits. Like I can hit a forehand really good, but my backhand, it's not so good. So this paddle all around plays extremely well when it comes to my forehand and backhand. So now I'm gonna talk about some things I didn't like about this paddle, as where other people might think otherwise. The one thing I don't like about this paddle is the actual weight of it. Obviously I could change that by adding weight to it, but playing with it stock, I feel like the paddle face is kind of light and the handle is just slightly more heavy. For me personally, I like to play with a really heavy paddle, probably around 8.5 to 9 ounces. And that really is just me coming from the Flamingo. It's just a heavy paddle. I really am not in some fast speed hands battles. I'm really just putting the ball away as fast as I can, trying to end the point as early as possible. But for this, I just feel like it's so light where I'm actually having problems hitting hard shots without actually having to wrist lag through the ball, just snapping through it as much as possible. So my overheads were a little bit slower, I would say. I can still generate the power, but I'm really going to have to snap my wrist through an overhead, whereas the Flamingo, it's super easy to put a ball away. I'm basically deflating the ball every time I'm getting an overhead. To complement this paddle one more time, they're selling this paddle on sale for $89 right now, which is an absolute steal. This paddle plays like any other paddle that you would normally get for $180 to $200. So for 89 bucks, this paddle is an absolute killer. So big shout out to Srikel for actually sending me this paddle and giving me the opportunity to give it a review. I had an absolute blast playing with it, and I'm sure moving forward in my next tournaments, I'm definitely going to be seeing this in the hands of a few of my opponents. So I hope you guys enjoyed, hope you learned something, and that is the 3K Carbon Fiber Aura Series 16mm pickleball paddle from Srikel.